Multifarious fisherman. This is 7 Fish. We're in a branch office today. It's raining, it's spring, but it's raining. It's actually hailing a little bit. I was out fishing with Z this morning. Got a plane going over. Had some success, had some fun. But what I'd like to talk about now is Left-Handed Hunter and I shot some footage for a product video, and the product is an underwater camera. We're looking at the Marcum Recon 5 Plus, and we're watching fish swim up to the jig and eat it.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that.
And I'm gonna do this. I kind of wanted to talk about what I did, and honestly didn't care for that much about that particular camera. I really expected to like it. I liked it for what we needed to use it for, but I didn't like it for getting footage for the YouTube channel, and I'll explain that. But the unit is very compact. It's a 5-inch screen. They make 2 models. They make a Recon 5 and a Recon 5 Plus, and the 5 refers to the screen size. It's not a big screen, but it's not a tiny screen. It's a very portable unit. You can strap it to the top of your Vexilar and watch it that way. You can hand hold it and watch it that way. Some of the cameras are bigger and require a bigger battery. They've got a bigger screen. They're more cumbersome to carry, and really the meta anymore for ice fishing is getting smaller, getting lighter, just making your life easier as far as how much gear you got to drag out with you when you go. So this fits that model pretty well. And it was actually effective when we were using it to see fish and catch fish. Oh, there's a gill.
Oh yeah.
He's on the camera. He is not interested in what Joe's doing at all.
Yeah.
This is a perch. And this is a bluegill. The perch hasn't seen the bluegill yet. Oh, there he goes. In use, the camera has actually got a better picture than what you're seeing here, but because of the conversion of it, it has degraded the quality.
Which theoretically is what that camera is for. This unit records in the unit. You can put an micro SD card in and record to it. You can't use too big a card, it won't see it. It also, well, it had some other peculiarities that I'll tell you about. So initially, the problem that we had with the camera was that the footage was not in a format that I could utilize in my computer. I couldn't view it. I had to find a software that would convert that AVI file to a usable file in an editing program. That was, you know, not overly difficult, but a little bit irritating that it wasn't saving in a more standard file format. Once I did download that software and get the file to a file format that I could actually utilize in my editing software, the clip came out long and skinny.
So this is the longer, stretched out clip, but it's actually in a little higher quality. You won't normally see a bluegill quite this long. The other clip is from the beginning of the video, but in its original form.
It's a really strange format because it doesn't display on the camera in that format. And I did some research and trying to figure out what it was and why it looked so weird. Some of the effects honestly were kind of funny. I'll put one at the end there, but well, it turns out that their display screen doesn't use square pixels, it uses rectangular pixels. So when it's saving to play back on itself, it looks right. But when you play it back on any standard format, square pixel device, which is almost all of them, it's long and rectangular and weird. The stills are that way, the moving images are that way, and it's frustrating, to be honest. So I had to have another software that would convert it to a more standard format, and you lose resolution that way. It's unfortunate, but it's not a very high quality usable image when you're all done. First of all, it's kind of a headache to mess with all that. The color balance, you'll notice, is pretty bad. It's really green. That's a function of the lake and the lighting under the lake. So that is not the camera's fault. But when you trying to rectify that to the low quality image, we shot some really cool footage, but it's not going to look like it could look. I'm going to show it to you anyway because I think it's neat and I really wish the quality was better. Marcum does make another camera that has a high quality. It does not record in the unit. You have to HDMI out to a recording device and record it in that device. But the quality of the image is much higher. It's a 1080p camera. Sensor is a Sony item, and I've seen it. The playback on it is very good. So on this still image, I'm going to show you some of the features of the Recon 5 Plus. The regular Recon 5 has the same camera and the same display screen, the same compact size, the same rechargeable internal battery, which actually lasted pretty good. I can't complain about that. The 5 Plus allows you to record. That's one of the features that the 5 Plus adds to the Recon 5 package. The 5 Plus also has temp at the camera. It has camera direction displayed on screen and depth displayed on screen. So as you let that camera down, the benefit of that, of having that information, is if you have a Vexilar and you obviously put the camera in the same hole as the Vexilar, you're going to see the camera on the Vexilar. But if you're shooting from to the side and you know what depth you're seeing fish at on your Vexilar, you can actually shoot across to that from the same depth and know that your camera's at the correct depth. Now you could measure the cord, but that's kind of a pain in the rear. In the ice, I don't think the water temp is as big of a deal, but in open water, knowing temp at depth is actually, there's some benefit to that. You can detect springs, underwater springs, you can find cooler, warmer water and some things that way. So it's a neat feature. The biggest one to me is camera direction. So if you've got that camera down there and you're, again, in a different hole and you're seeing fish or something, knowing what direction the camera's facing when you see fish, when you see structure, or to find your jig if you're in one hole and looking from another hole.
I've seen some pretty cool stuff. Had a muskie on the camera, had a pike, well, had a muskie in the hole. We didn't have the camera recording. Tried, but I don't think we got much. We'll see. The camera shows, I don't know what you can or can't see there, but the camera is showing the weeds on the bottom. I can see Joe's jig there. Holy cow!
That scared the crap out of me. The freaking thing was right underneath the camera again.
Yeah, the likelihood of seeing a gill is not real high. I was trying to see that old muskie. I think I moved that camera and spooked him off. Which, when you're fishing bluegills, isn't a bad thing. I love seeing them, but we're shooting some horizontal video now instead of vertical straight down. Put a tripod into duty as a camera holder, and we're able to maintain direction. Yesterday, when we were trying to do it by hand, you just can't keep that camera pointed any particular way. But this is working pretty good. They make tripods for that purpose. We didn't bring one, and I am currently using one of my photo tripods for that purpose. It's working all right. Largemouth bass. You hook that, we're in for it.
Yeah. Come on.
That's cool footage right there.
Come on.
It's the beauty of cameras is you can see all the fish that don't want to eat your stuff.
There's
a pike, that's why they're leaving.
Whoa.
Oh, he is turning this way.
He's coming right at it too. He's coming at the camera.
Yeah, he is. He wants it. Yeah, he's checking out the camera. I'm glad we're recording. That's a ski! Muskie! That's awesome. Got the muskie on the camera.
There's a pike.
There's a pike coming to your jig.
Eat it. Eat it. I'm going to hook him right in the lip.
That's good footage right
I'm
here.
going to hook him right in the... Oh, come on.
Nope.
Come on.
He says,
That was close.
not today, my friend. big one.
What is that?
Bass.
I thought.
Catch that old big mouth bass, Joey. Uh-oh, he's stopped. He's gonna come eat this gill.
Gill's gonna freaking push him out.
He is, he's gonna take that away from him. Nope, the gill's like no. Bass is like no. You're getting rejected all over.
Look at this. It's in between them.
It's like left-handed hunter at the bar. Just getting rejected.
Yeah,
left
no
and right.
shit. Ding, ding, ding here, and then I go, ah, piss off!
Understand that a lot of work went into trying to make this video look okay. I apologize for the quality of what we have because it isn't great, but it does tell you a little bit about the camera.